Hey y'all, it's Shannon and my brother Sean is over there on Skype. Say hey. So I don't know if you heard him or not, but he said hey. So I'm coming at you with a vacation food haul. Now, I know my channel typically does art and art related stuff, but if you look to the very back, you'll note, or the very beginning of my channel, you'll note it was a lot of food and food artistry. I personally consider food to sort of be an art form in and of itself, whether that's cake decorating, cake sculpture, artisanal honey, artisanal cheese, sausage making. I mean, what goes into your food to me is art in and of itself, as well as the science. So I hope you enjoyed this haul, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go through the things that are not honey related, because the honey related ones will take up 3/4 of this video, and also because I'm a little obsessed with honey. But so is my brother, who's over there, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So the first thing I got is some Dijonnaise. It doesn't sound real exciting, but it is delicious, and I don't know what it is, but I can't find it out here up north. I don't know what the deal is. Certain foods and certain things I just have a really hard time finding out here. To go along with that, I have a really hard time finding creamy Dijon mustard, which is the like really finely ground. Very excited. And then I was super excited. Anyone who's been in the deep south, and I'm talking like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, knows Sonnys. Well, maybe not North Alabama or Georgia, but deep south. So Sonnys is a barbecue place, and where I'm from is where the original Sonnys originated. Sonny Tillman himself grew up with us, well, not grew up with us, but he was around, and like my brother actually taught some of his kids. I went to school with some of the Tillmans, so it's kind of a local tradition. And so I went to Sonnys, and I just needed to pick up my barbecue sauce, and this is the sweet sauce. I also picked up the mild, but I picked that up for my friend that lives up here. We actually grew up together, which is just one of those weird, like, the world is so small coincidences. And because we both like jokingly talk about that we love Sonnys so much, but there's no Sonnys out here. There are good barbecue places, but none of the sauces kind of even remotely come close. It's just, one of those things. So I picked her up a sauce when I was there. The next thing I got, we're going to be in Honeyland pretty much from here on out, and you're going to see me basically geek out about honey. So this is honey candy. Now the really cool thing about this honey candy is it's hard candy made from honey, but it's actually got a honey center. So like if you have a sore throat or anything like that, these are really amazing, and they don't taste like the poop that cough drops taste like. My niece and nephew actually prefer to use these when they're sick over cough drops, and they're approximately the same number of calories, so I think that for the money that's a better option. So that's just me. The next thing I got is I went to our local bee store. And when I say our bee store, it's a beehive supply store, an apiary store. I work in the agriculture industry. I love food. I personally do not work in the food side. I work in the food. I work more towards livestock, but I'm a big geek when it comes to food and food science and things that go into that. I am not a food scientist. I do not work on that side of the equation, but I really, really enjoy learning about my food, where it comes from. And this is actually from Jerry's Beehives. I bought it at a local beehive supply place, but my sister is actually friends with the owners of this, the beehives. Now, if you don't know about honey, or what you may not know if you've been buying honey from the store your whole life, is that honey you get from the store is basically, it's a whole bunch of honeys mixed together, filtered and pasteurized. Well, if you buy single source honey, which is just honey from one place where the bees have only been exposed to like one flower, whether it's orange or lime or raspberry or blackberry or gallberry or elderberry, wildflower, what have you. Yes, there's that many bajillions of varieties. There's over 300 in the US. Amazing. But I'm a huge geek when it comes to honey. I like a honey. So this is Gallberry honey with the actual honeycomb, and I will say, if you get the chance and you have a local bee supply or beehive place, call and see if they sell the local honey, because if you have allergies, it's a good way to help build up your natural immune system if you eat local honey, because it helps with your natural allergens. I forget what it's called, Sean, do you know? No? So it's really good though, and it gives you a good opportunity to try local varieties, and it's usually a lot less expensive. Well, maybe not a lot, but it's less expensive than if you were to buy the single source online or in like a specialty expensive gourmet store. So, because Gallberry can get quite pricey. This is, to go with that, a 2-pound container of Gallberry honey. I really like Gallberry, don't judge me. And it's great to use. I use a lot of honey when I cook and I bake. So the next thing I got, this is a new one for me, and the Gallberry is a new one, but I tried my sister's and I really loved it, so I had to buy a lot of it. This one is exotic honey. Now this is a deeper, richer, much darker honey than the Gallberry. I'm not sure you'll be able to tell with the lighting in here, but this is the Gallberry, and it is much lighter than the exotic. The exotic is very, very dark. It's very rich. I don't want to say it's molassesy, but it's definitely like that richer, thicker consistency. It's really good. It is not for everybody, but I really, really liked it. And I bought my brother Sean a little honey bear to say thank you for putting up with me and hanging out and stuff. So he got one of those. And then these next two honeys are repurchases. This first one is orange blossom or orange honey. I just call it orange honey. But it was funny because when I first started talking about orange honey to the folks up here, they thought I meant like flavored honey, because that is a big seller out here, especially with tourists, is to do flavored honeys like raspberry and like orange or like pecan. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about like orange blossom honey that's like single source. And I'm like, no, it's just, it literally has the most beautiful floral notes to it. And I love to use this honey when I make like sweet breads, like a brioche or like cinnamon raisin bread. This is really great. It's very sweet, and it just gives those really nice light floral notes. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then this is also a repurchase. This is Tupelo Honey. Now, this is a 2-pound container of it, and again, part of the reason to go to local bee supply places is sometimes you get a really good deal on this honey. Google Tupelo honey and you'll understand. Tupelo is the most expensive honey you can buy by the ounce in, I think, in the world, or is it in the US? Tupelo honey is the only honey that does not crystallize. It will maintain its clarity and it will not crystallize, so it'll be liquid forever. The other great thing about honey, and the reason I'm willing to invest in it to some extent, is kind of like a good balsamic vinegar. It does not expire. It doesn't have an expiration date, especially if it's single source and it's only been filtered. You get to the point where you get some blended honeys and pasteurization. As long as they took good care of it, again, it doesn't really have an expiration date, but I really like the idea of supporting local businesses and supporting artisanal type of group of people that are really interested in and caring for, like, basically kind of where the food comes from. Like I said, I'm really into that personally, but you know, to each their own. So that is all for my haul. I really, really love my honey. I'm so excited I got it. Literally, I have been waiting 8 months to get this honey. I was so excited when I got the opportunity to go home because I knew I was spending some money to get some honey. So I did, and I am not sad at all, although I am a little sad because they did not have the elderberry or the wildflower that I wanted, and I sort of wish I had gotten palmetto when I had the chance, but that's okay. There's always next time, and I have found a great source for honey online that's not overly expensive, so I think I may try a couple of varieties from them, and they're from Winter Park near Orlando, and you know, I think they'll be pretty good. I've emailed them, talked to them, and so I may try a couple bottles from them. I just really enjoy trying the different varieties of honey, but yeah, there's that. So thank you for putting up with my yammering. Let me know what you think of this situation, because I got a new camera when I was on vacation. I'm very excited. I'm really crossing my fingers this works and that you like it and the setup is okay, because this would work out really, really well for me personally. So fingers crossed. Anyhow, Please do me a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in learning more about honey and the different flavors. I do have an additional 5 or 6 varieties up there that, yes, I use honey instead of sugar a lot. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comment section below. I'll do like a video tasting and kind of talk about some of those differences, but I can also link some references to honey places and honey information. It's really cool. It's a very cool subject, especially, you know, if you're interested in that sort of thing. I'm kind of a nerd like that though, so I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.